So we've established the fact that we have a main task called analysis and these three subtasks which are part of analysis. Notice a little box here I can open and close to see this appear and disappear. What we'll do now is do the next step of the software development lifecycle, which is design. So I'll create a brand new task again. And I'll just type in design. Now I want to create some sort of predecessor dependence between analysis and design. Once analysis is complete, design should happen. So double click on design and just go in there and select analysis. And by default, you find it fires itself over here, which is at the end of analysis. So analysis must be complete before design starts. I'll add in some more tasks related to design now. So this will be create user interface. It's also called UI. There you go. Now, create user interface is all based on the fact it's part of design, so I'm going to indent that. And as you see, it now appears over here. Create user interface could take a fair amount of time. So I'm going to say it's going to take 10 days and then hit OK. And that shows you the duration of that, taking up 10 days as part of design. More things happen in design though, so I'll add in some more tasks as well. So we started with that. Let's say create structure chart. We'll use a structure chart. And again, that's going to have a predecessor of the user interface because interface is the easy part to start off with. And I'll also say it's going to have a duration of, say, let's make it 3 days to create a structure chart. So again, that is dependent on the user interface being completed before the structure chart is worked on. There's a few other things I could add in. I'll add on one more thing just to make it more interesting. Create, I'll call it structured English. Other people call this pseudocode. And I'll say that also has a dependency on the structure chart being completed. And I'll take, say, let's make it 5 days for that as well. There you go. So I've created analysis, that's there, and design. And now you can see that there's some sort of dependency happening here all the way along it. So I must complete analysis before design starts, right? Analysis takes a maximum of 10 days at the moment. Let's hope it doesn't change. And over here during the design section, it takes 18 days with 3 different tasks as dependencies as well, right? I'll create one more area and it'll be called implementation. There it's there. And implementation depends on design being completed. So I'll go to predecessors, make sure design's completed first. Some tasks for implementation, and this will be kind of straightforward, I suppose. Code the software. It's actually quite a relatively big job, but we'll just call it code the software, and indent it to the right, and see it's going to take a fair amount of time. I reckon it takes, say, 10 days, and then hit OK. And again, you can see over here the chart's changed a bit. By the way, you can use the mouse to scroll along, or if you want, you can zoom out to see it in different detail. See, it looks a lot tighter that way, but all it's doing is just changing the view. Or you can zoom in as well. But you can see here, code to software's there. Now, we haven't assigned any resources yet. So go to the first one there for design. Now in resources there, look at the list that we have here. Right, I definitely think I need the manager involved in this. I definitely need the analyst, but this is part of design. I think it's maybe time to bring in someone else and maybe bring in a programmer as well. I don't have a programmer yet, so I have to go and create that person. So go to resource chart here. I added a brand new resource. I'll just put in Miss Programmer as the name and an email address. And under undefined, there's lots of different ways you can put it. I'll just call this person a developer. There you go, great, good enough name. So inside here, I'm back on create user interface. Resources, I can add in Miss Programmer. Right, and create the structure chart. I want them all involved again. You have to have the manager involved. Let's face it, they're involved in the project itself. So they spend a lot of time there. But the analyst and programmer are working together at this point here. The analyst is maybe saying, no, this is what we're looking for. And the programmer's creating the various documentation for it as well. So there's the manager again, the analyst, and then the programmer for that section there. Now under implementation, this is just going to be the programmer. I can put in other people as well. I'll put in the manager just to make sure the manager's involved. I'll just put in the programmer. I could include the analyst as well, but I'll leave the analyst out at this point unless assume the programmer understands fully what's required to be done. There we go, and I'll hit save again. You go back and look at the PERT chart again, it's getting bigger, this diagram, which we'll look at later on. And we can see there's lots of resources happening now for different people in different locations. And we have a much bigger Gantt chart as well. So I'll stop it at that point, and we'll look at some other stages in a few minutes.